On behalf of the National Public Housing Museum, we thank you for tuning in to our oral history audio listening series, Out of the Archives. In each episode, we will share a diverse range of stories told by public housing residents from our oral history archive. Stories make up the backbone of any culture. They tell us who we are and where we are from. They create empathy and understanding, and they allow us an opportunity to share our experiences and learn the words of others. The stories in our archive lift up the voices of an oftentimes marginalized community and create a space for important conversations to happen. Here at the museum, we firmly believe in the power and importance of everyday stories and their ability to expand and redefine our understanding of American history. Our mission is to preserve, promote, and propel the right of all people to a place where they can live and prosper, a place to call home. And we hope that this collection of stories not only reinforces that belief, but can shed a light on an American experience that is all too often left unheard. This episode, Silent Voices Among Us, Stories from Chicago's Henry Horner Homes, corresponds with our exhibition, Silent Voices Among Us, a montage of Chicago's West Side, a photojournalistic series from former Henry Horner resident Dr. Cranston Knight. The exhibition and the stories in this episode speak to the redevelopment of the Henry Horner Homes apartments and suggest ways to challenge systemic issues of poverty that have been prevalent in the neighborhood for decades. The storytellers from this episode include Sharon Leggitt, Maria Moon, Crystal Palmer, John Pettiford, Marina Pullom, and Patricia Smith. The Henry Horner homes were constructed between 1957 and 1959 and contained 920 units. Thousands of residents lived in the Henry Horner homes between 1957 and 1995, when demolition of the Henry Horner homes began. The demolition ran in phases between 1995 and 2008, which made way for the new Westhaven mixed income community, which was established in 1997. There is one remaining building from the original Henry Horner homes, which is located at 1815 West Monroe Street. The stories in this episode span from 1962 to 2013.
Hi, my name is Marina Pullom. A lot of people be saying, I'm glad the project's down. I don't. I had so many friends. I got so many friends because of living in Horner. When my sons see me speaking to so many people, he be like, how you know this person? How that person? I knew somebody from the 15th floor, the 13th floor, maybe 2 buildings over on the 3rd floor, the 2nd floor. It was like a big community. Everybody knew everybody. It's not like how it is now. You go outside and you don't know nobody, you don't know nobody's mama or cousin or nothing. Back then, it was really like it was a knit. Even though later on the buildings ended up being, they turned into something else when drugs came on the scene. But other than that, before any of that happened, everybody was real close. Mm-hmm. You could go somewhere and your neighbors will watch your kids, or the lady downstairs will watch your kids. It's nothing like how it is now. Mm-hmm. Mm. My mom, she always was a thrift shopper, and not just a thrift shopper, she worked at the Goodwill, so we had the best furniture. We had the leather couches. We had like the big lamps. We had a dining room table, and people didn't have that in the project. So a lot of people, when they see me today, they be like, oh girl, I remember when you grew up, y'all had everything. Y'all had this, y'all had that. A lot of people be telling me that, a lot of my friends told me that they wish that my mama was their mama. Sometimes I used to hurt my feelings. I'd be like, why would you say that you wish somebody else's mother was your mother? We had a little bit more than other people did. It's because my mama managed her money better. And I do the same thing. I still go to Goodwill. My daughter go to Goodwill. Wow. It's just like the apple don't fall far from the tree. We still do it.
Miss Crystal Palmer.
From that, that relationship has lasted all of these years. I'm 57 now, and I was 13 then. So that's like 43, 44 years. that's my family. And to me, that is what the projects was, and still is today, is a family. Relationships that you built there, those relationships don't go nowhere. Even if people that you didn't like or they didn't like you, because you have reunions around, every year, you get to see those people, even though, and it's still love because we have something in common together, and that's the project. I came there to stir up stuff, but I didn't come to stir up in a negative way. I came to stir it up in a positive way and to build people's relationships and to build people's quality of life and instilled in them that they can do better, that they should do better, and that we can help you get to that point. So God opened those doors for me, and I just started teaching what He gave me to people. And then from that, I travel all around the place telling a story about public housing, telling my story, about, you can, just because you're from public housing does not mean that you at the bottom of the barrel, even though society may think that because it's just a biased perception. When people sit down and talk to you and me, they don't see a project once they get to know us and talk to us. They don't see that. It's a perception that people have. People write books. Some books are fictional, some books are non-fictional. There's a lot of non-fictional books that's going on. Now, if you want to know facts, you go to the people, and that's where you get the truth about what happened in the project. Yep, there was a lot of people got killed. Yep, there was a lot of people lost their lives. They don't talk about people falling out of windows, babies falling out of windows, dying, falling from the 14th, 13th, 15th, 16th floor. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the fires that happened in the buildings, and people were locked in their houses. They had bars on their door because they were afraid people were going to break in their house and steal all their stuff, and people's lives, they died. But they talk about all the negative stuff about somebody got shot, or they gangbangers, or they do that. But what about the other stuff that went on in the projects that people don't talk about? Right, that we, you and me, had to live through. Our stories that are the truth, not a fictional character. A real character that can tell the value of what public housing has done for us. Yep, that was some negative stuff, but lo and behold, there was some great stuff. I stand here today in greatness as a product of public housing. Everywhere I go, I tell them I'm from public housing. I'm from public housing. And it's so entrenched in me that when I bought my home less than a mile away on the same street. 2051 was on Maypole. The back of the building was on Maypole and Hoying. I live on Maypole in California. The same street. That same L that ran through making all that noise. I hear that same L every day. And my daughter used to say, why you always move in the same neighborhood? And I was like, girl, why would I want to go somewhere else? Why would I want to go somewhere else? This place has given me my life. It has built me to this person that I am today. Why would I want to move away from that? My foundation is there. My friends are still there. That's my community, and why would I want to leave it? I invested my life in this place, and it invested its life into me. So no, I'm not going anywhere. That's what the project means to me.
My name is John Pettiford. The west side, Henry Horner, which where I came from, they got the low-income housing over there as well, but they do have other housing that you can purchase if you want. And it just looks really, really nice. And from what I can see, the people that's there are trying to keep it up. if you will. Now, they got these other units that they remodeling just west of Western, or close to Western, on the west side in Washington, up in that area. I was over there a couple weeks ago, and a lot of the units that they had over there, they remodeling it. And it looks to me that once they get done, it's going to be really, really nice over there. So, yeah, I think that was a good thing to tear down the projects. But, you know, some they did leave up, and they working with them, and it's starting to really, really look good for them as well. Like over behind the United Center, they got the Valley, which what we call is the Valley, another part of public housing. They did not tear those down. They remodeled them, and it looked really, really nice over there. I mean, wow, it looks really, really nice over there. And it seems that those people that's living over there are trying to keep it up. So it looked real, real nice over there. And I'm all for it. It's good. The Valley, which other one, everything else was actually torn down to make way for the new structure of new housing. And I'ma just go out on a limb here. I don't think that the project is done over in that area. I believe it's some new construction is going to start. Another phase is going to start very, very soon over in that area. I just don't think it's done yet. You know, I mean, it's a lot of more area over there that I believe the United Center is going to build on. You know, and I just don't see it being flat like that. I see some more new construction coming in, and maybe a hotel or two going up. That whole area is starting to change. So that's what I see in the very, very near future. I'm talking about within the next 5 years. You know, some more construction is going to be going up over there. Hopefully, I'll be in a better position to be over there, because I was born and raised on the west side. And it's a shame that I was born and raised in an area that I can't even live in no more, because it's outpriced where I can't even afford to stay there. Talk about hard luck. That's what that is. Well, when it first started off, we had a good relationship. Before they even started building it, because they had the old stadium there. So when the grants and the opportunities came through for the new stadium to go up, of course, we were told about that. Yes, they had bids on it, started bidding on it, and they had a committee that jobs was given to. Of course, they was only given to people that, you know, that they knew. It wasn't like you can go and apply for a job and they gave it to you. You know, you had to be known. But yeah, the jobs were set out. They gave us jobs, gave jobs to people who really wanted to work. Then once it was up, a lot of other people continued to work in there. So as far as our relationship was done with them, when it first went up, we had a very good relationship. But after the buildings came down, and the boys club, really, once the boys club came down, all ties with the United Center started fading very, very slowly until it just completely disappeared. It's no relationship with them at all now, because they don't have a committee from Henry Horner that they had in the previous years. They do not have that committee now. So it's no ties to the United Senate. Well, it was a committee made up by the director of the Chicago Boys Club of America. They had their own committee, and I can't think of the name of that committee that they had. But anyway, the guys that made up that committee, the director of it, I think he passed. And I can't remember, because it was so many years ago, and I really can't remember anybody else that was really on that committee or what they actually done up to this point. Because like I said, the committee has been long gone. But when it first started, my dad was on that committee. And when things started going south, before my dad passed, when things started going south, he got off the committee because he didn't like what was going on. So he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. I can remember that as good as last night, yesterday. My dad came in and told me that committee is a joke. You know, they only want to give jobs to the people they know, jobs set for the whole community to work, but the job's still going outside the community. So, you know, that's another story.
Hello, my name is Sharon Leggitt. The Black Panthers used to feed the young kids and everything. Yeah, I used to be up there with them and feed the young kids. They used to have that service. They used to talk about the Black Panthers doing a lot of wrong, but they don't never talk about the good that the Black Panthers did. They used to feed. I used to be up there with them helping feed the young kids and stuff. Yeah, they used to do that. They don't never say nothing about that though. Yeah, they feed the kids. Yep, and Bethlehem Healing Temple used to feed the kids and stuff. Yeah.
That's a church.
Mm-hmm. That's where I got baptized at. Yep. Yep. Bethlehem Healing Temple and the Black Panthers, yeah. That's where you can get some free meals and stuff, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are scattered, you know. Scattered. A lot of friendships were broken up, you know. Business, you know. I don't even know the communities no more over there no more, you know. Everything has changed so much. People moved in and just now I don't even know the community over there no more. I don't think it was good because I think they should have kept their promise of putting the people back in the community, because I think it's worse now because the violence is really worse. They should have kept their promise about keeping the people back in the community, because they putting people back in the community. They're not keeping their promise. They put people. They scattering people, and now you don't know what's. It's not right. It's not right. They didn't keep their promise. I don't think they kept their promise. They didn't. And now the people is angry. They're really angry. They really is. They really are.
Maria Moon.
I feel like America always want people, especially black and brown people, to take accountability because we criminalized and we looked at as criminals. They want us, it's all about accountability. People need to take, but I feel like America has not taken accountability. We've been in America for so long and we're still going through things like this. It is ridiculous. We're still on the back of the bus, metaphorically, systematically. You know, it's a statistic about wards of the state. It's a high percentage of wards of the state going to prison, having X's on their back. It's one of the highest percentiles of people that's incarcerated. So it was like, it's like an expectation. It's a statistic, and I was actually part of that statistic that started out in the system and just went on ahead through the rest of the system. Because I went straight from being a ward to the state, straight from doing 13 years in the penitentiary. Yeah, the way I look at it is everything that I've been through, like living in public housing, and I was also diagnosed with PTSD when I went in that first hospital, though, because of all the shooting and stuff, that I heard all the time. So I believe almost every child, if not every child, but not just child, people, period, who live in public housing probably have PTSD, but go undiagnosed because those resources were not in our neighborhoods. We didn't have resources like that. The police would barely even come into projects. And when we called them, they took so long when we needed help. But we would have to call more than once, multiple times. But we didn't have a good relationship with the police anyway. We didn't trust them. They didn't trust us. It's simple as that. The way it's always been. From generation to generation, you hear that. And everybody acting like it's so new. This is nothing new. This is old. It's not a shock to me. It's just media and social media and all that. It's just out there more. I just couldn't understand why we were stacked on top of each other like that. It was something wrong with that. The incinerators, overflowing with diapers and this and that. The elevators always broke. And like my mom even told me the story, my mom and my auntie, about how they lived on the 13th floor in those same projects. And the elevator was barely working. So when they went grocery shopping, when they could go grocery shopping, that's talking about poverty. People in the projects in the 60s, and my people was in those projects it was the 50s or the 60s when they first got up. My grandparents was over there. But imagine that you going grocery shopping, you going to the laundromat, you got to walk up 13 flights. That is crazy. Dark hallways, that is, I can't even fathom that, but I believe that it's important what a person see, especially when they're young. It matters, those smallest things. And I'm not just talking about what people do, like people do around you and you witness. No, I'm talking about writing on the wall. I'm talking about seeing that the police would not show up for you. I'm talking about seeing the United Center. It's like a gulf. It's like this gulf between whites and blacks. That's what the Henry Hornets represented to me, because I didn't even know I was a part of the West Loop really until a couple of months ago in my class, because I'm an inner city study student, and we had to, name where we was from. I'm just like the Hornets. I would never think I'm from the West Loop, because the West Loop is downtown to me. The West Loop is for white people. My first time ever going to Macy's was yesterday. I've never stepped into Macy's before, because to me that was like for white people, it wasn't for us. A lot of people may not understand that, and they may feel like, oh, you should do this and you should do that, and I get a lot of that. I should what? But the truth is this my story, and this is how I feel about downtown. I feel like it's a white world, and it wasn't meant for me, and it's a lot of beautiful things, but it wasn't created for me, for people like me. And the same thing with the United Center. It was flooded with white people to see this one black man, Michael Jordan, that we looked up to somebody that made us feel like we was something. But it really made me feel like it was nothing. Because why weren't we flooding? You know what we was doing? Some little guys scapping tickets, going through police brutality over there, or white exploitation, because this white family who just pulled up in their Benz or whatever, they get them $3 to wash their cars all night. You see how you using young people? It was another form of slavery too, you ask me. Oh, gentrification hurts. Gentrification. It makes you feel helpless. It makes you feel powerless. You know, because the year that this really started, I know especially with the Hornets, was 2000. 2000 was the year I got locked up. When I got back home, it was gone. It's like, where's my home? Where I come from don't matter, or like, where's my memories? Like, you know, it was like a family member died. And it's like, it's just all in my head now. It's just all in my head and my heart now. But it wasn't just about the projects, it's my home. It's about the fact, like, somebody need to hear what the hell was going on with us, what was done to us, the way we felt over there, what we went through. It's like, that's why I do like the idea of the National Public Housing Museum, because like our voices need to be heard. Like, it was just crazy. And it's one of the most important things in my life, the fact that I come from the projects. Like, I tell people, like, I'm from the Hornets, from the projects, West Side, you know. My father from Inglewood, though. Father from Inglewood. And it was a separation in that West Side and South Side, you know. He kind of had a lot of skepticism about me because I'm from the West Side, you know. Kind of separate us a little. It's kind of crazy, though. I don't even think I want to talk about that because it's so weird that people could be so like involved in stuff that it's like it affects personal relationships like that. But it gets deep. It gets deep here in America. It gets real deep.
My name is Patricia Smith. I live in Chicago, Illinois, south side of Chicago now. I'm from Henry Horner Homes. I moved in Henry Horner Homes in 1964, building 1850 West Washington, apartment 501. In the back of the boys' club. We moved in there, my mother and my sisters, my mother and my brothers, because I'm from a family of 3 generations. My mother had children from the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s, I was one of the last in the 50s. And I had a younger brother, Nathaniel. He was born in the 50s. The rest of them was 40s and the 30s. So I was 14 years old when I moved in Henry Horner. I went to Manley Upper Grade Center because that's the school I was going to when I moved up here, so that's where I graduated from, grammar school. From there I went to Lucy Flowers. And I graduated in 1968. Emotional support, just a friend, a hug, a kiss. Like now, when we run into each other, that's exactly what we do, hug and kiss each other. Glad to see each other after so many years, because a lot of us not here. A lot of people that we grew up with, they're not here anymore. So you'll be glad to see the ones that's still here. It's a blessing.
Once again, the NPHM thanks you for listening to this episode of Out of the Archives. This series is supported by the Institute of Museum and Library Services, the Illinois Arts Council Agency, Illinois Humanities, the Kresge Foundation, and the Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events. This episode was engineered by Seth Engel. We'd like to give one last huge thanks to our storytellers, Sharon Leggitt, Maria Moon, Crystal Palmer, John Pettiford, Marina Pullom, and Patricia Smith, as well as the members of the museum's Oral History Corps and other oral historians who helped to gather these stories, including Francesco De Salvatore, Raymond McDonald, and Maria Moon. Thanks again for listening, and we look forward to sharing more stories with you next month.